the Americans, you have to remind them. Mr. Finkelstein's here. Aaron, let's see your good face. Open up your South African face. No, I'm waiting for you. And David Young, can Bonnie and Clyde please open their faces? Hi there. Okay. Oh, there you are. All right, that's so. Aaron still doesn't want to show his face. Okay. Are you in pajamas, man?
I'm actually making tea, so I'll be there shortly.
Okay. Okay. In these type of classes, you can eat. You don't have to be dressed. Just get a shirt on. I couldn't care less. You know what I mean? This is the nature of these classes. I put on a shirt just for you. As you saw Lazar beforehand, I wasn't wearing one. Okay.
Rabbi, I think Rabbi's muted. What? I think Rabbi's still muted.
Shall I record? Yeah.
Oh, God. The host is unmuted. Thank God. You muted me, Mr. Host.
Sorry.
This is mamishly sachsuk show the bishoy.
It's hard to get used to all of this.
Yeah, I never heard the guy who actually closes my mouth. This is new to me. My wife has tried for years. You do it with one little click. Okay, weiter. Mishnah, third parak. Chananya ben Chadyan Omer. Shnaim sho yoshvim ben benem divrei Torah is a Moshev Leitzim shem Moshev Leitzim leyosha. Yeah, was it does? Normal talking is in divrei Torah, and if you don't talk naturally in divrei Torah, it's a pshat is Moshev Leitzim. Why is it called a Leitz? A Leitz means a person which is a cynic, a person which has no values. That's the idea of Leitz. Leitz tako pesayarim. So Leitz tak is called Amalek. Medrash. Melech is called a Leitz. Zaydim helitzuni chino. Zaydim helitzuni. What does helitzuni mean? They were cynical. They cracked jokes at me because there was no chashivas. That's why I call it tzinosa asura chutzman litzonat avodah zara. We have a world which we need chashivas in this world. That's the idea of kavod. Without the whole world is for kavod shamayim. A Leitz is the steward to the mitzvahs of kavod. So the only tzonus which is mutter shalav deserve, you have to realize it's not meaningless, totally nothing. Otherwise, everything has something to it, so you can't be totally meaningless. The Leitz is the cynic, the one that sees no meaning in anything. Therefore, Mamela Meshav Leitz, a person which is natural to seek v'siach, is not divrei Torah, he's called a Leitz. Would you believe it? That means he attaches chashivas to things which are muchusrei chashivas, and that which is supposed to be chashuv b'yoyser, he doesn't attach chashivas to. That's what it means. Two people that learn, obviously, I think, yes, they talk to each other, even on Zoom and Mustama, you know what I mean? To say you're in two different places and you learn together b'chavrusa. So, I guess he's also the host on Zoom. What does he listen? So obviously we say Vayishma, that means he's there, he listens. A person sits on his own. Nebuch, he didn't find the chavrusa. It can happen. But he doesn't just read, he's dairish. Dairish means he learns, he understands the depth of things. He's dairish. He tries to see insights, not the guy that reads Tillim. Them state this. Doesn't say Shalaimit. Doesn't say Shemishane. It says V'dairish. person which actively is Dairish, he's learning with a certain depth and trying to find insights even when he's alone, which is pretty hard. So that the pasuk says, Yesh kilu kiyim is kol Torah. He basically he's as if he's mekayim kol Torah shenemar yesh b'dav yidaim. So the Rambam explains at the end of the pasuk, which means to say, what does he say? Let me read it. Here's the pasuk. Dvar machashoy min admama daka. וזה פירוש התרגם וידם ושבח ויוסו כמי שנטל עצמו כל התורה ממה שאומר נטל עליו. The pasuk says, Yeshiv Bada V'Yidayim Notel Olav. So that's the end of the pasuk. Kilu Kiblu Kabbalah's Kol Torah Olav Ibilvat. As I state that he's the Mekayim of Kol Torah Kulav. He's Yeshiv Daimim. Mashma here. The person learns. He learns b'demama b'hira. L'maisa the taz is tainus that l'chayra. Well. That l'chayra you shouldn't make a birchas Torah if you're learning be'iyun without saying things with words. The taz paskin la'alacha. That if you're learning on your own and you want to be kind birchas Torah, so at least say something loud. Otherwise, you're sitting, you say something orally because you just think the whole time. The Taz Tanya there's no bracha birchas Torah. The Gra declares not that way. The Gra disagrees with this totally. Ayin Shomer Mem Zayin and Shulchan Aruch bracha and birchas Torah. The Gra learned the pshat because he thinks the Beis Yosef thinks there's no mitzvah of divrei Torah. So he says, "What are you talking about?" He goyin libi lahagoy. He goyin libi. He goes on the heart. He goyin gisvim yom v'layla means in the heart. It means thinking. Binas halev. It doesn't mean talking. So you zikra ki mitzvah Talmud Torah. That's the Gra there. You should look it up. There's no, but whatever it is, Adirabba, he goyin libi is master. The ikar limud is belief. But afal pikein for birchas Torah, you need a bracha. You need dibur. That's an interesting thing. You can look it up in Sim Mem Zayin. So this is what it says. The klal is that whether we are, the klal is that speaking between two people should naturally be in divrei Torah, and that's the pshat. If not, you're basically a bunch of leitzanim, and God is there to listen to you. Okay, then it says, I once heard, okay, whatever it is, what the pasuk of it says, the pasuk says, Vayakshem Vayishma, what the pasuk V'yikosim B'Sefer HaZikaron. Let's make because of a Sefer HaZikaron. So the pashtus is, pshat is just like you have Sefer HaZikaron, we have before, you read your tefillah, your tefillah in Yamin Roim. Pshat means to say, yes, God writes it down as a merit, a specific schus. There's a certain schus found in Limud HaTorah between two people, which has a separate schus. It says the Limud HaTorah for yourself. It's unbelievable. Vayakshem V'yishma V'yikosim B'Sefer HaZikaron. Look, shloishes form suchim lefanecha. That means to say Sefer HaZikaron. V'tiftach es Sefer HaZichronos. Stomach, you remember your tefillah. That's what it means. There's a special schus in learning with chavrusa, whether bezoom or not bezoom. Those that's right, Nishan. But it's supposed to be two people together. One more Mishnah. Shimon Ayim Shloishes Shachla. So this is a Mishnah I dash a lot on. We'll make it fast. Shloishes Shachla Shulchan Echad. They ate together. They were kaveh suda on one meal. Means to say al shulchan echad. Means to say that. What does it mean to say? It means to say shulchan echad creates a kfiyah suda. V'loy amar of divrei Torah. The Rambam explained they didn't naturally speak divrei Torah. Not that they were looking for a vort, but this isn't their natural conversation. As the Rambam explains it himself, we say ki'ilu ochlam zivchei mesim. They're like eating karbanos of avodah zarah. Shenemar, the pasuk says, "Kikol shulchano ismolei kivet soya bli makar." Their tables are full of excrement and other bodily fluids. There's no place for such behavior. That's how the pasuk, just look at Rashi there in Yeshayahu. And the Rambam explains that means to say this is called people which are oizev v'satayra and in limuda, and they're sticking their heads into an oilam over, into achila and shtia, as he writes. He brings a different psukim there in Yeshayahu where he describes that a hedonistic, pleasure-seeking society, there's no way there's going to be any limud Torah. It's me Yeredeya. He says the Kohanim were drinking wine. Everyone was having parties. It's like you go to these weddings where the more yeshivish you are, the more liquor you're drinking at these weddings, and you're acting like mamish this Rambam. Give him a word. I think I once told you there was a guy in our yeshiva, very close to me. I found out he had a hookah. You know what a hookah is? Nagila. So I called him over. I says, bring it to me. So, he bought it. So he says, now break it. It costs money, Rabbi. Either break it or I break your back. One of the two. Okay? So he said, Rebbe, you're not yeshivish. He says, I know, thank God. Because if I'd be yeshivish, I would condone a hookah. Okay? Ich bin nicht yeshivish, Baruch Hashem. I know I'm an old-fashioned Jew before the concept happened. I came from Sinai and through Volozhin, obviously. Okay? The Ashkenazi side of it. Okay? Nicht yeshivish, Baruch Hashem defa. Okay? It's kemat klala. Ufchen, das ist dieselbe Sache. I see people acting yeshivish and call shulchan amali ki v'tzoya v'chulu, the right from achrei havel, they're not mezalzel havle azman, and they sit there and they drink as if it's, I don't know what, that's a bar, and they forget, it's very yeshivish. They help jeder chasna is a Purim. And even Purim shouldn't be that way. Purim kifiyat toyim. At the end of the day, das steht in Rambam. This is called kol shulchanam. I would like to see at these weddings where they talk and learning while they're drinking their single malts. That's not what's happening. You understand? So that's called kol shulchanim alei kivitzoya bli malka. Weiter. Aber shloish shachar shulchan echad. I'm below different Torah. The Rambam explains in their natural conversation. Different Torah. What's new? What's new is what's new in the Tosfos. Now, for goodness sakes. That's what Zisla would ask, what's new? If I would tell him the politics, he would say, that's not what I mean. What's new? What's the Zagab Sakasha? That's what's new. So wissen Sie, der Corona, Shmarona, was hältst du in Tosfos? So this is the class. So Keilu Ochel Mishulchan Shel Mata. Shenemer Vayered Abba Zeh Shulchan Shel Lifnei Hashem. This is the shulchan which is lifnei Hashem and achila. We talk not the nose isn't into achila v'shtir. It's into learning, into thinking, into tikkun amaylis amidosis, malas sichlis. That's called shulchan lifnei Hashem. Okay, so these are very important things. Good, right. But we're going back to this thing. I sent you a copy of that article that I wrote 30 years ago, actually 32 years ago. I sent it on the WhatsApp group. I don't know if anybody saw it. I take no achrayus for its value now, because 32 years ago is a lot of time. A lot of water passed through the Jordan River since then. But some of the basic core of things is good. Probably, I'm guessing that there's probably things which are not meduyik. Just take into account that that's roughly 40% of the original article. Okay. And if you have a good eye, you can see where it was cut. Okay, going back to the Brisa, let's try to understand what we're doing here. Okay, I'm going to say something before I go further. It is more than obvious that if you want to learn the Gemara, as I gave you in your sheets, there's no way you're going to focus on pratim before you get a big picture. There's no echetimts of trying to understand the Exvoris and the Rashbams and Yoshu Shtar Chayv without knowing the whole Kuf Chav Dalud Amid Alf and Amid Beis with Rashbam. Like, don't even start. Don't waste your time. Don't open up Latter-day Saints, which you really have what to say, because they also, some of them forgot to read Amid Beis. So do yourself a favor. Don't do anything. Read like an idiot. With the Rashbam, then go back to Rashbam. That's number one. When dealing with this Gemara, one has to know something else. It is very clear that the Brisa, which is found in our Gemara, it comes in different versions, also twice in Tosefta, in Bechayris and in Boabasra. In Bechayris, there are quite a few problems. This is not, I don't think this is the form. If I had like a small group that wanted to do a little, that kind of work, I would show you the different possibilities in Tosefta and Bechayris. At the end of that, I can tell you right now, Midei Hashora Lo Yatzanu, there's no real way to be Miyashiv the Tosefta and Bechayris totally. I don't know if you want to spend time doing that. You know, once you get loose learning Zroim, then you have to learn also how to be make a page, so you get used to reading that way. That's whatever it is, but whatever it is, it's very clear that the Amirayim in front of us did not have in front of them the Toseftas that we have that are there. Now, obviously we can see that. I will point it out from the Lashon HaGemara itself, but there's no question that the Toseftos are there. Toseftos are Mishnah Tanoim. So we're hoping that the Amoraim, which we're mechaven to Mishnah Tanoim, more the Kul Alma. There's no reason to think that there were two Bryces Chalukos if you the cloud shots that push and put the Lom Avshina. Unless there's a hechrich in the sugi to say that they say the Bryce of Bottom Kufchav Gimel argues with the Toseftos, then Adirabah, you're going to have to pray that what the Amoraim came out with fits with what comes out of the Tosefta. If not, you basically have that the Amoraim are arguing with Tanoim. And you don't want that. So I want you to understand that. So that's why I told you it's very important to read the three Toseftos and try to see what is Taka Mishnah Tanoim, and then going into the Gemara. That's a very, very important thing. I can't stress how important that is. What the Rishonim do will be tested according to that. And sometimes you're going to have to go backwards and figure out how to read a Rishon that shouldn't counter that. Okay, I want to put this on the table. And you're not going to change things because of a deal kal here and there, and thus make them saying that the Amoraim weren't mechaven to Mishnah Tanoim. That would be a problem. I just want to give you a rule of thumb when you go into this Gemara. That's the Chayrei Davar Pasha. I repeat again, there's two possibilities, unless they definitely decided that they don't agree with those Toseftos, and this is a separate Tosefta, and Ravina Ravashi or the Amoraim Bismanim decided that those are meaningless. Okay, and this is what counts, and this is what we're going to talk about. That is very far from pashtus, to say the least. Okay, that's not what we're going to do. That's not what anybody normally would do. Okay, therefore we're going to have to look at it. Also, it's probably wise to see Yerushalmi. To see how the Yerushalmi deals with the Bryces. You have to understand that too. This is very important. That's why I do suggest, if you really want to know, Tosefta Kipshuta of Dr. Lieberman Zechron Levracha will be very helpful, at least in that. So if you have the whole, it's basically a page and a half of the Tosefta Kipshuta. I see that David Maybrook had a copy, so maybe you can also do the next page and the next three sides. I think they are there to get a broader picture of the relationship of the Bryces. It's a very important thing. Okay, let's go back here and I'm not going to answer all the questions. I just want to put things down and go weiter. Okay, again, the Bryce. Tana Rabbanu, we learned a Bryce. B'chor noitla pishnayim, b'Israel l'chayayim v'keiva. So Rashi, was Rashbam, was meant Israel l'chayim v'keiva? Does he say anything? Yeah, Zot Rashi, b'Israel pishnayim l'kam meforshly. What is Israel l'chayim v'keiva? Israel l'chayim v'keiva are matnas kahuna, which don't create tevel, and there's no din afrasha. The big difference between Trumas and Maestris and Israel l'chayim v'keiva, by Trumas and Maestris, while it is before the afrasha, there's no shem truma. There's nothing there. L'chayra, the matanis were not muram yet. There's no shem truma. Therefore, l'chayra, there's no mum and bailim. There's only one shaila there found in a certain sheet. This Rashi that the isur tevel is because the truma which is found in it. But that doesn't mean the mum and kayin of truma. It means that the isur truma potential to truma is the siba for isur tevel. There's a Rashi like that. But except for that pashas kipshuta, definitely there's no din mum and kayin. L'chayra, before the chayra, there shouldn't be a din of mum and kayin before harama. Now that's a machlekes of Tanoim in Chulun, where the matana shalei hurmu kimisha hurmu dami not kimisha hurmu dami. Do we say that there is mum and kayin even before harama? It doesn't mean it's truma. No, you're not chayiv keren v'chaymish. It's tevel. But since if matana shalei hurmu kimisha hurmu dami, that means there's mum and kayin there already. Okay, whether it's mamish mum and kayin or a sibul mum and kayin or a shibul mum and kayin, you're not learning chulin, and I'm not teaching it, so I'm not learning gittin either. So that's not what we're going. But at the end of the day, that's the shayla. Whether there's some kind of iota of mumminess found in matana shalei hurmu, this is not shaykh at all. B'Zoyel l'chayim v'keva, because by Zoyel l'chayim v'keva there is no harama. There's nothing there. There's nothing. It's there. What is it? It's a piece of the animal which is mum and kayin. As soon as it's shachut, this is mum and kayin. It's not shaykh afresh. It's simply it belongs. It's like taxes. Now, is there a din of afrasha? No, we have no din b'fursh of afrasha. In the din of afrasha by Tumas or Mais, it's very interesting that the Shita Sarama Sefer Mitzvah is that afrasha's trumas equals a mitzvah of Nesina. He doesn't mention a mitzvah of Nesina's truma. He just says afrasha's truma. By Maestris, he says Nesina's truma. And the teretz is Yodua. It's a very famous. It's an Yehuda Be'etzim. It's a Taisus read that basically the Iker mitzvah of Truma is to make it into truma, and to making it into truma equals making it to Mammon HaShevet. You're Mekayim the mitzvahs and the scene that as soon as it's Mammon HaShevet. Which Kohen gets it, that's their problem, not mine. According to Rambam, I don't have to run around looking for a Kohen. I made Mammon HaShevet through Afrasha. So Afrasha creates a din of Mammon HaShevet in the proper sense. I repeat, even according to Mandamar, Matonish Lehuma Kimisha Humadami is not classical Mammonis. What is the getter of that? Shibud, Aftacha, there's a million Agdors. I'm not going to teach you now. But whatever it is, it's not classical Mammon HaShevet. Afrasha creates Mammon HaShevet. According to Rama, you're Mekayim Mitzvahs Nesina with Afrasha. That's Dafka by Truma, not by Meiser. Because Meiser has a getter of like Staka in Dasa Rambam when you read it in Hilchos Meisers. You'll see Staka, the mitzvah to look after an ani. Now that you can't, you're not yet stuck with Vermont with mom and aniyim. You have to go look for an ani. There's a minimum amount a year that you have to go look to give to an ani. Open up a shulchan aruch yerdayim. Dav zuchen an ani. Staka means you have to be fine to somebody. You're not mekayim that with mom and hashevet. That together by Meisers. There's a din of Afrasha and Messina. It's not enough to be Mammon HaShevet, but there's also a din of Nois and Lodom Aprati. Masha'enken by Truma, it's actually the Ma'aseh. The Kim din of Messina is with giving the Mammon HaShevet. The cloud is that the Mammon HaShevet is called with the Afrasha. Masha'enken by Zoy L'chayim V'Keva. What is this? That's literally nothing more than it's Mammon HaShevet. When does it become Mammon HaShevet? With the Shechita. It becomes Mammon HaShevet with the Shechita. To say now, this is according to that. This has nothing to do with the classical dinner. Or not over there. There's no truma there yet. To say there's a schus mammon before Shem truma, a quasi schus mammon, if I may say, which therefore has some kind of a din of mammons, which is shaykh to Yerusha and to Tzvich and to Kinyanim. Bravo, that's a special chiddush by things which need a Afrasha to create a Shem Truma and to create a Shem Mammon HaShevet in the classical sense. So what you have is the prelude to the classical Mammon HaShevet. There's something there. It says a schus Mammon for something that will be. Well, I'm not really, it's very not pushing to be moderate. I'm going to let it go. But that's what we're talking about. It's there. Maximum, the shaila is maybe do you have to cut it out and separate it? Who the pasuk of them? Mechiteshin. What's chalois is chal with cutting it up and separating it. Mechiteshin. L'char is nothing. Pashtus. I'm not going with the Rishonim clear such a possibility, but no one explains why. Pashtus, there's nothing there. When you're doing truma, you're not just separating it. You're making a chalois shem truma. Before and it's not truma. You're not creating any new din with cutting it and separating it. But mashal ma davar daima, a person has a pikadon of it's a pikadon in my house, and I had to walk out and put it in a separate box. Big deal. Wherever the pikadon is, it belongs to the mafkid. We know that. Kol heicha de isa b'shusa de mora isa. And if there's Mammon HaShevet, it belongs to the shevet HaKayanim. That's the Chayra Davar Pashat. It's not even shy to the classical dinner of Matanish Le'um, Madami. Nothing to do with that Gemara at all. L'chayra. Ein l'chinami. So l'chayra, what's exactly the din? The din is what do we say that he's naitel b'Israel l'chayim v'keva. He's naitel b'Israel l'chayim, naitel b'Israel Israel l'chayim v'keva. The emes is that in Tosefta steht nicht so. If you open up your Tosefta, by us in Bava Basra, Perek Zion, this one, it's easier for me. You have it in the sheets that I sent you. Here we are. Perek Zion, Bava Basra, Halacha Beis, and it writes over here, after it writes the idea of Muskeres, Para, Muskeres, Muskeres, and Sachera, Poi, Roy, Ba'ofer, Habchor, Noitel, Pishnayim. Adkan, then it says, Ve'ein Noitel, Pishnayim, B'Israel, Chayim, V'Keva. Ve'ein noitel pi shnayim b'zrei l'chaim v'keva. That's the stomach of the Tosefta. And the Pasha says this is all Lashon Rebbe. If you open up the Tosefta, the whole Tosefta starts. I'm going to read it to you. Okay, open up the Tosefta as much as you can. Some of you need to open it. Rabbi Eimer Ani, Imani Kan, Eimer Ani, Shabachoyer, Noitel Pishnayim Bishvach Shishbichu Lachem Misavim, Sha'av Shaloi Yishbiach, either Kishalahem or Bishalahem, we'll see soon. Ketzad Hoysoli Be'emem Ketzad. The Ketzad is an explanation of that din of Shvach. Ketzad Hoysoli Be'emem Ketzad Musketzad Sacherim Pori Roy Ba'afa. Not mentioning what happened there. Only there is an interesting difference. It says Behemem Uchkeres. It says Pora Roy Ba'afa. They switched from Behemoth to Pora for a obvious reason. I guess there's something that a Pora can do that a Behemoth can't do. It's called having children. Otherwise, why would there be a movement from Behemoth to Pora? Aber steht nicht befurisch, you pay a Rebbe, das Pora Neutel Pi Shnayim. This is Divrei Rebbe. This is Kulei Divrei Rebbe. Ve'ein Neutel Pi Shnayim b'zoi l'chaim v'keva. Now the question is, Vi is with the Vav Achiber. L'chaim Mashma, this is also Divrei Rebbe. And it's a juxtaposition. As opposed to Pshatis, he's taking Shvach, but Afal Pikein, he's not taking Zoi l'chaim v'keva. And here it gets very interesting. Why? You see, the Lashon Tosefta is a juxtaposition to the Chiddush of Rebbe. So all the Rebbe is Mekel, if I may say, in the dinim of Roy and Muzuk, and includes even Shvach into the din of Muzuk. Afal Pikein, when it comes to Zoi l'chaim v'keva, das is Roy Gomer. And since it's Roy Gomer, therefore Mameli is not Neutel. What's that? This is Roy Gomer. That's the Girsa Shel Fanenu Kan. Now, this Girsa obviously is not found in the Girsa by us over here, but there was another Tosefta. Tosefta in Bechayris says something else. The Tosefta in Bechayris. In Perik Vav. Hey. There it says again, Rabbi Omer Ani, the same idea as found to Shefta in Basra, that this is L'shoinai Shel Rebbe. Omer Ani, Shabchor Netl Pishnayim B'Shvach Shishbichu Nechosim La'achem Misavim. Sha'af Shaloi means Shin Lamed Vav. It says here Shin Lamed Aleph, but everybody understands that that's a typo. Sha'af Shaloi means that his Hishbichu Bishalahem. That's the Girsa of the Tfus we all know, as I wrote already in the notes there, that what in all Tfus Rishon it's written Bishalahem. But in Ksavia, in all the Kisviyad, as pointed out by Dr. Lieberman, it says Kishalahem. So now usually B'kai Gavna, the emes lies probably with the Kisviyad, because Tfusa, we have no reason to think that the Tfus was bad. The Tfus was based on some Shibush with Kisviyad. And the Kisviyad Shefaneno are with a Kaf. So one has to take that into account too. Let's see what this is. So here it says Bishalahem, the Lashon in the in Brysish in the Tosefta in Bava Basra, Kishalahem. So what is the emes? Here it says, I don't know what I have here, who says what, but Lamaisa, in all Kisviyad, it says Bishalahem. In the Tfus, it's Kishalahem. Now we're going to have to explain both, because obviously Rabbi Shana, Rishonim, whoever learned with the Girsa and Nitfus Fanenu, and as we know, that's going to be an Afkamina also La Halacha. The famous Igeris of the Chazon Ish. We don't play games with changing our halachas because of Tikkun Girsos of Kisviyat. But at the end of the day, emes, we have to know the emes. What is Taka Kavanas at Anoim? So that we have to understand the pshat according to the Girs of Bishalahem and according to the Girs of Kishalahem. Whatever it is, these are two explanations of Das Rebbe. Okay, and that's how we have to work. So what does it say there? Sha'af Shalai Yishbiach Bishal or Kishalahem. Then there's a Ketzad. Once again, what is the Ketzad? The Ketzach is a way of explaining that din that they get shvach, according to Rebbe. That he needs that svara of Av Shalai Yishbiach Kishalayim. So the Ketzad is a dugma of the Chiddush of Rebbe, which Rabbanan Lochera argue. In other words, it's not as if that this goes according to Rabbanan. It's a Mefurish Tosefta. It's not as if this goes a libid Rabbanan and also Rebbe, the way actually the Magid Mishnah wants to understand, and quite a few others, etc. But the Tosefta, it's Mevurah, not that way. Tosefta, it's Mevurah, that this is Dafka Rebbe, this is an example for Rebbe, means to say the Rabbanan argue on this. That's what it comes out to be. This is against the Magid Mishnah, Gimel Nachlois, Tzois Reshain Ches, Tur Reshain Ches, Ayin Shom Beis Yosef V'Bach. I mean, Mr. You looked it up. If not, I'll have to read it like a Malabedardike inside. But that's what it says over here. Right? Ketzat, Hoysale Behebe Muchkeres Umuskeres, Eitz La'acherim. Then it says Roya Ba'ofar. It doesn't say Upora Roya Ba'ofar. It says Roya Ba'ofar. But that's mistaver. What that wouldn't mean. What does that mean? Pashtus, if we're going to be naked, we're going to fill that in. There's just like a typo here. Mistam is Roya Ba'ofar, like found by the Tosefta and Baruch in Bava Basra and in the Brises by us in Bava Basra. Chor noitel pishrayim. So far, so good. Then it says B'Zraya L'Chaim Ubekeva. Chor noitel pishrayim. B'Zraya L'Chaim Ubekeva. In other words, the brach is the ketzad of the first halacha ends with the words play Rebbe offer. This is the ketzad of Rebbe that Rebbe said Shab Chor noitel pishrayim, and then it says noitel pishrayim B'Zraya L'Chaim Ubekeva. Now, what is this? Here it doesn't say vin noitel. It says noitel pishnayim B'Zraya L'Chaim Ubekeva. It says noitel pishnayim. So we do have a question of a source of what is Takadas Rebbe. Therefore, I have no problem understanding. I'm not going to say there's a Mefurish Tosefta. Not like the Bavli. I can understand that this Tosefta was nigger after the Bryce L'Shavanenu, and that one's the Meshubash, one of the two. Okay? I'm not going to. My cloud is I'm going to try to reconcile the Bryce and the Bavli with the Toseftas, and not say that I'm a roim to out of not knowledge. Decided they shot and they missed it. I need the Tanadim Sayeh and Mishnah Satanoim. If not, I have a problem. I have a major problem. So this we have Taka Gears of Neitel Pishtayim Zerayim Chayim Ve'ev. And the shaila in front of us is why yes and why no. What the tzad to say, especially if this goes at Liba the Rebbe, this is a statement of Rebbe. So either Rebbe is saying that that Neitel Chayim Keva, this is a of what? Now what is this? Is this a continuance of the Ketzad, the Chiddush of Rebbe? What does this have to do with the din of Shvach by Zerayim L'Chaim V'Keva? How does that continue? So we have whether you sabish them when you say Ve'ein Zerayim L'Chaim V'Keva, you can somehow understand. You have to find a balance. And although on one hand there's a din that he's mekel and din a roy, afal pikein, this is called roy gomer. Interesting. This is called roy gomer. That means to say we agree. If he thinks that way, Zikr Rabbanim would agree that way. If you understand the gears is Neitel Zerayim L'Chaim V'Keva, here we have a question to say. Kumtas Libud Rabbanim, what do we do? He's not Neitel Zerayim L'Chaim V'Keva. How do we understand this? Okay, weiter. Going weiter in the Tosefta in Bava Basra, it says, Rebbe Omer, this is actually another brisa. Rebbe Omer. And here he starts explaining what he's saying. He says, Kol davar shaloi pilpulu ba yisoymim la'achar misaviem, habchor noitel pishnayim. As long as they don't add themselves, their effort into this, it happens on its own. As long as it's intact in a natural fashion, and the assignment didn't get themselves involved. Okay, this is called a shvachtim amelin. Nice words that we say that this is the clouds. What is Rebbe doing now? He's now making a cloud of what he said before. Kol dover. It's masha the noitel pishnayim. V'chacham ma'amer ein noitel pishnayim el b'chol asher yimatzolay. It's the pasuk. What's the pasuk? Asher yimatzolay. The Bryce, the Chacham himself say the drasha, and this is part of the Tosefta. Avo. Bana binyan natan atiyos hakol shavim shenaitel pishnayim. Okay, it's at naitel pishnayim. So I don't want to go further. This is enough at the moment. So this is what we have. this is the brisa found in the Tosefta in front of us. Now, l'chayres, I repeat again, when it comes to Zohar l'chaim v'keva, there seems to be tzadim yes and tzadim it no, and l'chayres it's a pelatzum. L'chayres, what does the Gemara say? The Gemara asked the kasha on the Zohar l'chaim v'keva. So the Gemara, hi Zohar l'chaim v'keva echidami idos liadavuan pshita. It's a davar pashut. Thank you very much. What's the tell him? But this got nothing to do with anything. It definitely doesn't work according to if this is a part of continuance of Rebbe. What's the chiddush? Either loyatziadavuan roihu. So here the fellows, what are you saying, roy? Why is it just roy? Why isn't it not shaloi? Roy is it sort of yematzah? You shouldn't say royu. You should say ain't a shaloi. What's the kasha royu? Zot Rashbam, does he say anything? Royu. Leidama l'shvachish ishbicha nechas l'kivan de'eva avu and mugza b'nechasim ve'im atzon hushbichu k'mish uzu b'shvach domi. Avhana maton le'zocha avim klum michayim v'kulon hem shvach. God help me, that's a chshon of Roy. So why is it called Roy? It's not his. It's not his. And this isn't mugzuk. What's it that the kasha? So the mice of the Tosfos read. All right, let me see if I can find my Tosfos read. So I'll wait a minute. So what would you say? Al-Kocha, the Gemara understood that the Maksh himself also knew that Pshat is the possibility of saying Makiri Kuna. That wasn't his question. Or, that's possibility one. Or possibility two, even without the din of Makiri Kuna, let's understand. It was very clear this is a person which regularly gets the matanos. So what? But you're going to take the Maksh knew there's a din of Makiri Kuna. So why did the Gemara have to say afterwards? So the part of the Pashas is like this. The Chiddush din of Makiri Kuna is as follows. Let me explain what that halacha is in a nutshell. This is really a big sugya in Gittin again. I don't think this is the place, but the class is like this. Matanis Kuna are Maman HaShevet, as we pointed out. It's Maman HaShevet. The Gemara Taka says the Basha and Chula Mazik Matnas Kahuna. If someone's Mazik Matnas Kahuna, he has no one to pay to. He doesn't have to pay the main Nezikin to the Shevet. Why? Because Maman Shein Loi Toivim. It's an issue in the court that there's no one person who can say that I'm the Teveah. Who's the Teveah? You have to get all the Shvatim, all the Shevet together, get the Jews together to write a Ksav Shor for a Tfiyah. Enjoy it. It's impossible. The Gemara says it's called Mama Shein Lei Toivin, and the Mama Shein Lei Toivin is Nishkir Chiv. It's a cloud. There's no such thing as a Choiv if there's no one to be Teveah. Big Yisai. There's no one to be Teveah, even B'dei Shamayim. There's no anybody at any level. That's how you say godly in Nichas moments. Okay, so Mamela, so this is the class. So Pshat is, but who does it belong to? It belongs to the Kainim. There's no one to represent the Kainim. The klal is that what happens, for example, Bisman Hazeh, there's a din of Matnas Aniyim. Why isn't anybody being mafresh peya? Leket, shikha. Why aren't you chayshish that you're eating Maman Aniyim? You're a gazlan. And the answer is, the klal is, if there's Nishiyashu Aniyim, if the Aniyim don't plan to come to pick it up, it's called Nishiyashu Aniyim. It's taking Maman Hashem, but they're Misyayish from it. It's called Avud Lahem. It's Nisyayish for them to use. Gomer Memela, it's not theirs anymore. Nisiyashu anim, you're allowed to take it. It's called theirs until you take it, like any other yush. But you can take it, and once you take it, there's no isolate sigil. It can be, it's yours. So the cloud is, Makiri Kuna works like this. It works that basically every Matas Kuna belongs to the Shevet of the Aniyim. But since this, everyone knows that John gives his matanis to Harry specifically, all the other kohanim are misyayish from it. They're not going to get it. Once it's Yashu Anim, he basically has it. Midin, he is the Shevet. There's no one else. He's the only Shevet. Now, if Kemini would be with Mazik Matas Kahuna and there's a Makiri Kuna, he'd have to pay. That's the get of the Allah of Makiri Kahuna. Get Kahuna is saying that basically you now are the Bailim. Now it's interesting what kind of bias do you have? Are you the representative of the Shevet? Or is this Allah? Therefore, it depends what the getter of the Shevet is. But if you're called or is you, now that there's no one else but you basically decided to make it into private ownership. I'm not going that this is all big sugis, which are not going to get to you in this little line in Boa Basra. But at the end of the day, that's the getter of Makiri Kahuna. Good,
Rabbi?
very nice. So you couldn't meet to say there's a schus mammon and there's no one else to claim it, only you. Yes, question.
Doesn't the Rashbam in our sugya seem to not explain Makiri Kahuna like that?
Relax. 1 minute. Let me just explain. I think I'm not talking Rashbam at the moment. He said, how does this work? I have to understand the Gemara when the Gemara asked the question. See, Rashbam doesn't explain what the Gemara's question was. So let's understand. The Gemara understood Naniach. We knew there's a din of Makiri Kuna, but the same Makiri Kuna therefore says Memele, it's yours. It's not just yours, it's called Mukzik. You may own it, but who you didn't get it yet? So Shevis Yisrael Yasa Avla, you're definitely going to get it. So the guy can also change his mind. He doesn't have to give it to you. He can decide this time I'm not giving it to you. So you have to say Shevis Yisrael Yasa Avla, and he'll probably continue giving it to him. But at the end of the day, why is it his? I say this without going, I don't want to talk achronim. There's, in other words, just promising you something doesn't make you a murzik. And the fact that someone has a religious obligation to give you something doesn't make you a murzik. You're not a murzik. It's not even yours. There's nothing to talk about. If you have bilas, and now I'm swearing to give it to you, this may make it not just Roy, but also Musik. Then I can understand. But to get to the Allah, and I'll explain in 2 minutes, 1 minute. L'chayra, there's a din, the Gemara says in Baba Metzia, that Matanimu etis, if you made a promise, and it's not really of a major sum of money, then you have to give it to the man. Rabbi Yochanan is minded about my Tanu Etis is a kinyu with Dibur. Taisha, I discussed a few times in Ksubas Kuf Beis, writes that yes, as long as there's a smichas das, and the guy's really serious about giving it to me, I'm koine it. If you remember, Taisha writes in Ksubas Taf Kuf Beis Omadal Aslo Aliba Ben Bagbag. Taisha says over there that how can a person be mishabed himself with a star? I'll give you Shabbos of the star. You are a human being. Well, according to Shittas Rashi, at the most, what are you? You're metaltalin. That's Shittas Taisvus. Rashi holds that you're all karka. I don't know if you know it, but Shittas Taisvus across Shasa that we're all a bunch of metaltalin. Metaltalin is not nikna b'shtar. So how can you mishabed yourself a shiva the goof with the star? The big Taisus in Ksubas Kuf Beizom and Alit Ramatzcha Liba de Ben Nanas. Efer Taisvis, he says, the Hoya V'torach L'michliv Shtora Gomer Meshabed Nafshek. If you bother to write a star, that means you're very serious. You have a total decision to be Meshabed yourself, and therefore what? Sharei Afilu Ba'amira Ba'alma, even with words, Yesh Dvarim Sheniknim. Kidikama besamuch. V'oy de shaminu Rabbi Yochanan Bab Metzia Memtes Hanoisem Matanu Etes Lachaverai Kana Afal Pi Shelo Yigil Yadai. Why? The Gomer Umakne Hochenami Mitoich Shetorach Litnam B'Shtar B'Kai Gavne Gomer Umakne. That's how the Rabbeinu Tam Shita how a star is chayvus works. No, so we understand now. There's sometimes this kina with an achlata. We discussed this multiple times, but this touch is a very big Evan Pina. You start to this whole idea. So we can understand that hypothetically, the Gemara, before knowing Matanim Moetis, the Gemara understood that what? That L'chayra, hey, it's yours, Midin Matanim Moetis. That could be the Agdara. Doesn't have to say Makira Kun. It's yours, Midin Matanim Moetis. And Afaparin, the Gemara has the Kasha Roihu. Now, why is it Roy? Manavshech, if it's Taka mine, so it's in my Rishus. In Manavshech, if you are Kaina, Mamashiki and Gomer, if that's the case, why is it called Roy? What's the getter of that halacha? What's added with Makira Kahuna? One has to try to understand what's happening. I'm giving you the direction. I don't look once again. I want to move on. But it's very clear the Gemara, if we understand the Gemara said Roy, the Gemara understood without saying Makir Kuna, we understood there's a tzad to understand it's Shaloi. But that Shaloi is not enough. The Gemara obviously understood that Matanu Etes or things like that, it's very nice. It's not called Yemot Shaloi. That's the kasha of the Gemara. That type of ownership or that type of shibud that now is there, that you have to give it to me. You're mechuyev to give it me. It's not called Yematzalai. That's the Agdoros Advar. Yematzalai is obviously something which is totally mine, and obviously this is somewhat less. We see according to Rabbi Yochanan, what's it called? It's called Mishapor Matan Moetis. It's like Miristas. It's very nice. It'd be Magdashit. That's the question on the table. So this Gemara is mashma that even if it isn't Makiri Kauna, that wouldn't be a key in Gomer. It would be enough to be called Shaloi, but not B'Shusai. We have to understand the Agdar, but that's clear in the Gemara. It is true that the Ritva points out the possibility of saying that the Maksha already knew about Matanim Etes, but didn't think he knew about Makiri Kuna. We thought Makiri Kuna is not enough to make it Mugzik. Because there wasn't a Afrasha. And the Kamash Milan is, we don't need enough Russia. Very nice. If you find that Lashon HaGemara, then my name will obviously change. But he's also bothered by the question, what the Chatchila did the guy think? What the Kasha, what's the Teretz? So the Ritva Taka says, he knew about Makir Kuna, but he didn't think it makes you into a Mugzik. It makes you Shaloi, but not into a Mugzik. Favos Nisht, the Teretz is because there's no Afrasha. And what's the Chiddush? That no, you don't need Afrasha. Matana Shalei Humu Kamusha Humu means by Israel Chaim V'Keva, you don't need Afrasha. And what was the Havamina that you do need Afrasha? Someone has to help me explain this Gemara. That's even worse, to say the least. What's happening in the Gemara? So the Gemara says, well, let's go through this fast. I'd rather keep it with questions and not be mepalpal by Riches and other sugis, but the question should be asked. So the Gemara says again, Israel Chaim V'Keva. Either Leosa should Roy, who's mashma, he's a bailim. He has some kind of a shaloi. But Afal became, but it's called Roy and not Murzik. And for the Gemara, Hochib Makiri Kuna Askina. And what? Udi Shtachet B'chaya Avwan. Ukasavar Matonish Le'um Ukamishu Umudami. The Taisus Reed brings down that we erase this, that this is not in his form of the Yokim. Taisarig brings down we erase this piece of Kshavar Matan Shlehumuk Misha Umudami is not here at all. Taisarig writes that was formed with the Yokim, this is not found. Let me read this to you. Dr. Taisarig Kshavar Matan Shlehumuk Misha Umudami Rabbeinu Shmuel Gorisley, who was formed with the Yokim Raisi Ve'enai Kosuv Sham. The Maharama Tzorah B'Matanis Kol Heicha Dekaimim Sumanim V'Aindimim. They're there. What do you have to point out? It's Mavura. It's not like fresh Truma that you have to create a new entity. It's Mesu. It's right there. That's called Zoya. That's the Chayayim, and that's Keva. If you don't know, take an anatomy book. Okay? But loy dummy the Chumas is loy mikveh elabah frasha the Kriyas Shem. What's nikva? What the shame of Chumas is only with Afrasha and Kriyas Shem. A Kriyas Shem and Afrasha is needed to be kaver the Shem Chumas. It's everything we said is the Taisus read. So Itaki erases the idea of Matanish Leilum Kmishur Madami. The Ritva, I'm going to read it inside. He says it's a Lashon Mushal. The Ritva says, sagt der Ritva, wie bist hier? Sagt der Ritva, Nochlein, shezel loshon mushal. It's a borrowed term. We don't really mean the din of matan shleimu k'mo she'umu domi is bought in the sugis abavli. Nochlein sheloshon mushal v'hachi ka'amar dikasavar matan shleimu miguf habehema kilu humu v'nitnu la'koyin biyadayhu. Things that weren't separated from the animal as if they were already separated and given. See what he adds. So that means to say, the kivin and makiri kunu, kivin shenishchat abahema zocha koim v'matnesea v'chol mokim b'shem v'lechashi v'muchzik el denakid lishun de alma. He uses a broad term but doesn't really mean it in a halachic context. He's doing the same thing without erasing, like the Tosfos read, but he's saying the same thing. This has nothing to do with the classical din of matan shalehum. It's not shaykh here at all. Then he says another teretz. Inami lashma'ino mishum desova ba'alma the matan shalehum uvu frishu kimishu frishu damien. Since ba'alma we all matan shalehum uvu mishu damien. Savrina Hacha, therefore believe here, Shem Kimisho Humu Venitnu. So since we hold the Alma that Tanshlei Humu Kimisho Humu Dami, that means you're willing to say that something which has the potential of moment before Kriyas Shem. Already there's a Sibus on moment there, even before the Kriyas Shem. And that's called Kimisho Humu Dami, although there was no Harama, there's no Shem Truma yet. But the Sibus Mammon HaShebet lies there even when it's Tevel. Therefore, it's not just that they were Huram, so to speak, but also they were already given in the hands of Mamish, therefore it's even called Muzik. Mashma, that what? We would have said only because we hold Matan Shlei Kumuk Mushum Dami that there's a shame, Mammon Shevet. Mammon, even on a Sibis Mammon, even while it's Tevel, because we take the Chus Mammon, the Shevet to the extent it's there long before it's even defined as Truma. So then obviously, in this case, it's as if it's already in your pocket. It's called Muzik. That's a very interesting ritva, which I need someone to explain to me. But you'd have to know a bit more than you know to be able to do this. But this is an interesting ritva. What are the parallels? Since Matan Shlayumu Kimishu Madami, and what the din of Schus Mammon the Shevet is so strong that's even there in a Shibud, in a Schus Mammon in Tevel for Afrasha, etc. Likish Yafrish. It's already called as a Schus Mammon even in the Tevel. Since that's the quality of the Schus Mammon, therefore, in the case of Zerei L'Chayayim where there is no Tevel and there's nothing there, and you just go and take it. Okay, it's as if you already put it in your hands. It's not just shalai, it's also b'rishusay. Now, what does that mean? The different types of mammon have different agdors of b'rishusay. It's like saying, if this mammon is called shalai, even if that's it, well, in a regular place, it's not just called shalai, it's also called b'rishusay. Someone has to explain this ritva. This is the ritva shalafanenu. I have an agenda to move on, but I want to point out this is really an issue. So this is lefanenu. The mustam of the pashtus is like the Tosfos read, and l'chayr that should be the overall halacha. Okay, so the Gemara answers. Now let's go a little further, if I may. So the Gemara, so that's the Israel Chaim v'Kev ubu mukdashim. What's made mukdashim? So once again, I'm machlekes Arishonim. The Ritva explains mukdashim. I asked yesterday the question, what are you Irish in your mukdashim? What are we talking about? So the Ritva Taka explains. So the Ritva mukdashim appears the ksakadai the Meir b'kayin b'bchor. We're not talking about mukdashim of the Magdish. We're talking about the guys, the recipient, the Yorshei Koyin. Ksakadai the Meir b'kayin b'bchor. That's something totally different. That is definitely Koyin, definitely has a schus mammon in the bchor. That's mukdashim. Inami b'meshi yeshlo b'chatos. Or what the Koyin has in a korban chatos. He has what to eat. Matnas kahuna. V'lochi parchin delav dideininu. Kidamina matnas koyinim. Kuna koyinim ki zachim. Mishulchan gavayek zacha. The answer is it's not his. He's Zoichem Shulchan Gavaya. This is you have no idea how this is problematic, but let go. As I state in the Ritva, who parkin, so that's the case, that's the kasha, the Lavdi Day. Because Lavdi Day, it's not his at all, because it's very clear. When it came to Zoy L'chaim V'Keva, they asked the question of what? It's not a proper Lavdi Day, it's called Roy. When it came to Mukdashim, the question was Lavdi Day. One has to put this as the note that difference, okay? So first he says it's the day. So what does he answer? Parkin, Sefer B'Yisrael Ma'aru, B'Hem B'Shlomim, V'Aliba D'Rabbi Yisaglir, D'Amim Amon to, etc. This is the Gemara. So he basically explains the Gemara that the Chatchila, the Kasha that we're talking about a Kayan, and since we're talking about a Kayan, it's not even a Bailim because it's Zoichem Shulchan Gavaya. Now this may be true by a it is true by Kvanis, okay, because what he has the Achilas. So the question is called Mishulchan Gavaya. So what does he answer? He goes Kachin Kama Dir Rabbi Yosef Aglili. And on the Yisrael. This is what the Gemara understood. But the Rashbam doesn't learn that way. The Rashbam learns before not that way. The Rashbam learns before Mukdashim doesn't think why is there doing this? It's interesting. Why is he learning that way? Why is he learning? Because he has to try to understand what's happening here. The Rashbam doesn't learn that way. The Rashbam learns the pshat is what we're talking about. We're talking about chatos and asham, etc. I asked the question, what's the Yerusha there? Bishtem Mekachim Kalim. If you hold it Smam and Bailim, Nafkamin is you be Magdish Mekadosh and Isha with it. So it depends how many prutas are there. You have Pishnaim and what's there, you can be Mekadosh and Isha with it. If you hold Kachim Kalim, Mum and Bailim, it's a Mishnah, Mekadosh Bechalkai. That's something else. Depends what we're talking. Lifnei Zrika, Achaz Zrika. But whatever it only be, here we have a place to talk. But what are you going to do by Chatus and Osho? It's Kotche, it's Mama Gavayahu. If it's Mama Gavaya, what are we talking about? What's the Yerusha? This is a serious question. I'm not answering. I did send you an article there. We have a few possibilities there which have enough communities. I can understand why the Ritva didn't learn that way. These are all to look at communities from here, from all over the place. The Ritva learns Kipashnas. This is the Gemara. So we asked what we asked, and I want to go further on this. Okay, I don't want to deal with this today. You can read the article. So the Gemara, then the Gemara says, what's the next part of the Brisa? If they had para muchkeres u'muskeres b'yad acherim, eshoyse roi ba'ofer v'yolda. Chor notl p'ishnai. So the Girsa of Fanenu is v'yolda. We saw the Girsa in the Tosefta is without the v'yolda. Ma'isa. What exactly are we talking about here? Now, according to the Tosefta, this is part of the Chiddush of Rabbi. This is part of the Chiddush of Rabbi. What are we talking about over here? So, we're talking about the Shvach Mamela. What is the Shvach? Pashas, when you say the Lashon, Muchkeres or Muskeres, what are we talking about? We're talking about a Schiris. We're talking about either Muchkeres, is Chakira, therefore, they get a, okay, according to what she works, okay, whatever she works, you get a percentage. Or it's talking by, or muskeres, you get a rate, whatever it is. So what's bleibt? So what's the Torah got to do with anything? Bishlam, we talk about muskeres, what's the halacha? The din is schiris loy kanya. A shaila in Gemara, Mesechtas Avodah Zarah, is schiris kanya or not kanya? Who's the bailim? At the end of the day, the schiris loy kanya, person which has schiris on my house, I'm the bailim. We pass in schiris loy kanya. The nafkamina would be if a goy is soicher my behema on Shabbos, and he works with it. Am I over on the Isser Shvisas Behemta? Like Kanya, and if a guy rents my behema, there's no problem of Shvisas Kalim and Shvisas Behema. Now, if you have a car rental, you rent it out to Goyim on Shabbos. Is it mutter or usher? No, maybe you have a car rental. Maybe you don't. Maybe you will. We pass on Halacha Shvisas Chiras Lake Kanya. Okay, I want to put this on the table. There's not a classical Bible. He has the best payers. He has shimush. He doesn't have guf lepayers. That's the get of the halacha. Who's the bala guf? The bala guf is basically the owner. So what happens? The parah belongs to the father. Okay. So the parah itself is definitely mine. Elamine. Now it's found in the out of a seicher. A seicher is a shoyer. Is a shomer. Nice sacher va seicher. He's a seicher. He's a shomer. what's the halacha when something's found biyad hashomer? I once taught you many times actually that the Rosh writes in the first parak of Psachim that wherever it is, it's in the reshus of the maskid. The Rosh writes down in the beginning of the first parak of Psachim that if you have chametz mufkad biyad a goy, wherever it is, it's as if it's in your house. We learned this once. I can send you the Marmakayim some other time. It's the beginning of the first parak of Psachim. Wherever it is, it's called the shomer is mashil makoim lebal hapikadon. I remember discussing it with you when we discussed the idea of Nesinas Rishus and Das Makna. We had to have a kinyan in certain things. So this is a first rush. That yes, that the shomer is mashil makoim. He gives space, allows usage of space to the balapora or whatever it is, whatever he's using, and then the balapora is kind of that makom with tashmishim, because tashmishim is a kinyan even on karka for usage. We know that we learned Bava Basra in the sugi of Tsunma. That Yishtichas Paris helps to be making in a case where you're only kind of Paris, that's Kulamalo Pliga. The shaila is, does it help even for King and Aguf? Remember, we discussed the Gemara of Hoya Baila Moichet Kolossos. We had that Gemara in Basra also, that if a person, as far as a get, that he basically throws it into her basket. The Gemara asks the question, the basket's in the reshus of the husband. The Gemara answers no. This was a store which he sold baskets, and she put it down. He's mashil makim to everybody to put their baskets wherever they want in his room, in his store. What does that mean? And therefore, it's not called the basket. It's not called b'shus of the owner of the building, of the husband. It's called wherever she is. He's mashil makim to her to put her basket down, and she's kind of that makim with king and tashmishim. And if you remember this, we dealt with this in Basra Daf Gimel. Okay, and then from a mail it said Davar Pasha. So I don't understand this whole Gemara. What are we talking about? The para itself? The para is Zichar B'Shusay. For whatever reason it be, and somehow it's physically distant from you, it may be called muzik roy. Wow, this is like weird. What's happening here? We have to understand what's happening if we're talking about the para itself by mukeres and muskeres. So if we're talking about the para itself, really doesn't make too much sense. Doesn't make too much sense unless we're going to have to redefine or really make quasi chidushim in the halacha of what. And this is supposed to be especially a chiddush of what? This is called shvach. So the para itself is not shvach unless you say the para grew and fattened up.
Rabbi?
Grew and fat. I know the Gemara. Just 1 minute. Let me just first. I'm doing this piece by piece. Okay. If we're talking about the para and the para fattened up, ask yourself the question. Very nice. It's mine. It's in my house. What's the difference where it is? It's in my house. So l'chayr is always called b'shusay. We're going to read the Gemara soon and see what the Gemara calls it. But first of all, think carefully. You have to think in yourself. What's here? The chayra, as much as the halacha is concerned, wherever it is, it's mine. Schiris like Kanye. We have to put this on the table. The guy doesn't have a key in a gufla Paris. There's no. He only has the shmishim. He only has the shmishim, and that's it. I told you, major nam. It's a sugi also in the beginning of Psachim. So I think that Vavar, that Zayin and Medav, where also the Gemara come out as far as by your Matzah is concerned, whether we say Schir is Kanya or Loi Kanya. But you look it up in Shulchan Aruch by Shvisas Behemtai, and these as a Sugi also, so you look it up in Shabbos. That's how he passed in Ladina. So L'chayin, A, B, if there would be enough Gemin between Muchkes and Muskes, that we also have to understand. My nafkemina, as far as Hilchas Shomer is concerned, what's it in by a Chayker versus a Seicher? Nothing. So l'chayra, it doesn't seem to be enough kamina as far as that's concerned. So if they're better than you wrote muskeres biyadachem, you must come to the conclusion that the shvach that we're talking about is not the guf apora, because l'chayra there's no difference between muskeres and muskeres. Why would you mention it? So l'chayra, what are you talking about? You're talking about the schiris. And the difference in schiris of muskeres for the schiris of muskeres. That's what it seems to be. That chakira is something that you get, which you get basically according to how much you make. It's a business deal. It's the machzischa. But you basically, you get how much you make, I get half of your take. That's what it boils down to be, okay? I get 50% of your take. If you do nothing, I get nothing. Okay, so very nice. So we're talking about that type of a schar. Mashenk and schiris, I get any, I always get. Doesn't matter. Okay, now let's ask ourselves the question on that goof. I have to try to understand this. This is called shvach. So why is this called shvach? This is called l'chayra the shvach. This also pashas the lashon of the Rashbam that it's that way. So Tais writes in Divrei Masla ach muchkes muchkes shvachid memela. You go down and you write Sakadai Tachmin Kol muchkes muchkes lav shvachid memela ela yidei bnei adam shechorshim ba va'ovdim ba. First of all, that's not true. It's only by muskeres, not by muskeres. By muskeres, you can keep it in your house and do nothing. You pay rent. Is lav dafke? Ich will wissen. How do we understand? The muskeres is lav dafke. That's how you understand. This Rashbam is a medrash clear. L'chayr only fits by muskeres, not by muskeres. Muskeres has nothing to do with you work. You rented it to work. You decided to lay on your backside and go to the beach. Mind your chef. You're going to pay rent. Muskeres, I can understand that the shvach depends on someone working for it, and I basically get half of of whatever it does. Now let's understand. But that's the chayra tzorachim by muskeres. What are we talking about? The sachar. Here's something I really don't understand too well. The sechar is what? Why are you chayiv by schiras? Are you chayiv on the usage? You're chayiv because basically you stipulate, I'm giving you something, you do whatever you want with it. You owe me money. When is the zman of that money? It's from the beginning of the month, the end of the month. This is not yet to us. Whatever it is, it's there. Okay, so what is it? It says chayivus with this man. What's schiras? It's a milvah peh. Uses the animal. You owe me the money. Is that shvach of the animal? Is that anything? Does the schiras come? Do I get the money because of the animal? I get the money because you're mischayev me money. And my yischayvis was the yischayvis that I give you money and you give me usage of the animal. That's what this is. So how exactly is this sechir is called shvach of the animal? Bishlim by chakira. We can start talking. By chakira, it's as if we went into business. I said, my man is going to give me chatzi payers which are mine, and chatzi from you. So now I can also start talking business. I can say the shvach is, you know what? The shvach is the chatzi which is mine. Because I'm taki getting something, but you're reaping it. It's bringing in money. The animal's usage is bringing in money, and I'm getting money from the usage of the animal. So chakir makes a lot of sense. What is it? I'm a silent partner. You're the guys doing the labor, and I get 50% of the income. Good. So my animal is generating income. That makes sense. That could be called shvach. That could be called shvach. Shvach of the animal, usage of the animal. And since I don't have to do a thing for it, the shvach of the mamela. Well, it depends. Maybe if I have to invest other things into it, maybe it's not shvach of the mamela. This is what the Gemara will discuss shortly as far as Mezainis is concerned. This all makes sense by chakira. By schiras, what's this? Where's schiras, shvach of the animal in any fashion, form, or size? Right there. the emphasis, to do this, you don't even begin to know how much you enough to know to be able to see this and answer the answer. This is a gefährliche Breise. But this is a problem. The questions I leave to you, okay? This is what they do. Par muchkeres and muchkeres biyad acherim. Oisha roya ba'afar v'yolda. So now what's the thing over here? Roya offer v'yolda, and simply was pregnant and gave birth. Now what's the chiddush roya ba'afar v'yolda? What's the chiddush there? The roya ba'afar, the Gemara explains. What's the idea of roya ba'afar? So let's look at the Gemara. So the Gemara, hinichma v'yem par muchkeres. Biyad acherim, oishay seroya ba'afar v'yolda b'chor netla pishnai. Hashta muchkeres u'musked. The lav b'shusa the more didu kaima. Amrit shakil. What? Shvach of the animal, because the animal is not in my rishus. Gem mitzvah verstehen. First of all, I don't understand why it's called shalei b'shusa. It's definitely called b'shusa. The Teretz says because he's chayrish by muchkeres, I can understand. He's chayrish not only in his field, he's chayrish wherever he's chayrish. Bishtem, if the pikodim will be found in the shus of the shaymra, I understand. That's mukta to me. But he's being chayrish in a million other places. They're not makna their karka to me. So now my animal is found in someone else's rishus. That's the pshat. So now it's not, it's shaliv ein a b'shusi. Granted. It should leave any b'shutzi. It's biyad hashemer. Granted, okay, but l'mais, it's not in my rishal. It's not in my house. This is not an animal which is sitting in a barn which belongs to the shemer, the seicher, or the chayker. He's now using it. He's plowing someone else's field. There is no rush psachim over here. At that extent, there's no rush psachim over here. So where's the animal now? It's roya ba'afar. It's the same thing. It's somewhere else. So with la b'shusa the more didu kaima. Am shako roya ba'afar mi boile. Why is roya ba'afar mi boile? Let's understand. So there, Rashbam zog la b'shusa dav kaima. Roya ba'afar dev a muzik mi boile. Why is this called muzik more than that? Why is this called muzik more than that? What's the difference? As far as Bailam, they're both the same Bailam. My animal is now found in some open meadow, or my animal is found working in your field. What's the difference? Why is this a kal v'chomer? Why is this a kal v'chomer? So l'chomer, it has to say one thing. We're not talking about the ownership properly. We're not talking about where it is. We're talking to someone else that don't have rights of containing it. You can't be tevei your animal back at this stage. It's yours, but you can't be tevei it back. Because now you have a din of sechiris. He's like Kanye, but he has all the key in Paris, and your animal's meshubit for his tashmishim. Now there's a shibud of your animal for these tashmishim. You can't be tevei it back. You owe him that gufa animal. And that's the pshat by muskeris and muskeris. Pshat is the gufa, as far as that's concerned. So what do we say? The animal taki is not called b'shlav b'shusei dami. And therefore, the Luchar is a place to say it's not called Mukzuk, it's not called Yimatzaloi. Why is it not called Yimatzaloi? Because practically I can't take it whenever I want it. It doesn't say why, but from the juxtapose it from the next Rashbam. Right, but effort to have a mukzik, implying that by muskeres, he's not a mukzik. What's meant he's not a mukzik? That means he can't contain it, he can't control it because he has no tfi on it now. Because now it's meshubit to the other fellow. That's the agdora. So muskeres and muskeres are different types of shibudim to the other fellow. And this is the chiddush, that these things are called shvach of the animal, and the animal is not b'shusay. I still am stuck with the problem. Why is this called shvach of the specific animal by muskeres? By muskeres, I can work with it, as I did. But by muskeres, why is it called shvach of the animal? The Gemara takes for granted at the moment it is. We haven't cracked it. But now we begin to understand that the shvach, let's talk muskeres, it's easier. By muskeres, the pshat is the animal, it's yours. It doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, you can't demand it. You can't come and take it whenever you want because it's meshubah to the other fellow. And the chiddush is that a shvach coming from something which you basically can't contain, you can't demand that it's not called your muchzik in the sibus of shvach. That we would have thought it's called matsui, and the answer is it's called matsui. Why is it called matsui? Why is it called matsui? It's shvach of what? It's shvach of something which is matsui. Let's go back. This is really something very interesting. Let me explain what's happening here. Normally, shvach means what? Shvach means that I have the keren, and the mace had the keren, and then it was mishtabech me'elav also the payers. That's the getter of the shvach, right? What happens over here? Does he have the keren? We would have thought that by muchkeres, maybe he doesn't have the keren. And therefore, even it's called shvach the memela, whatever reason. Okay, but if you don't have the keren, and the chiddush is, no, this is called that you have the keren. There's a chiddush, it's called that you have the keren. Now we can start talking whether this could be totally in Rebbe and Rabbanan, etc. But that's the nekudas chiddush. In other words, the shchiras is zikra shvach the memela. The question is the shvach the memela of what keren, of what chayvitz. Every shvach the memela, the father, the deceased had the object. Now it's growing, shlupfman asatamra, whatever you're going to call it. That's shvach the memela. But this, they don't even have the keren. The keren I can't contain. And here there's a chiddush that even mechkeres musters, but you can't contain you can't take the keren. Why? Because it's meshubah to the other person. You have no monetary right to take it. So maybe that's not called yimatzulai. If it's meshubah to somebody else, it's not called yimatzulai. And there's a kamash one, it's called yimatzulai. The only problem I have with this is, if the chiddush is specifically in the shibud, is there a tzad to say that the chasim which are meshubah to a bal chayv with an apoitik and mefirish? What's the din? Is that called matzu biyad ha-mirish, or is it not called matzu biyad ha-mirish? It's mine, but it's meshubah to bal chayv, apoitik and mefirish. This is going to be the place of the tviyah. Is that called meshubah or not meshubah? This is the case here. Here, Pora, it's my object, which meshubah to you, and I cannot walk away from it. It's got to be by you. That's the idea of muchkeres. And the Gemara says that's called biyadoi. It's called biyadoi. It's called the shvachas biyadoi. Now, this is very open. We can start discussing. This seems to be totally Dafka and Rebbe and not Rabbanah. Is it just because of the shvach, or is it also because of the shvach aspect? Or is it also because or is it also because the only going to Rebbe do we say that type of keren biyada is enough? And as we now see that by muchkeres and muskeres there's a chiddush, not the fact that it's making money, but the fact that that which is making money is perceived shvach of a keren, which is not reshuscha. Okay, that's what seems to be saying here. So what does the Gemara say? The Gemara says, Hashta muchkeres and muskeres the lab b'shusa the more you do kaima. Amr shakil raya ba'afer mi boile raya ba'afer. What do you want? What's the problem? It's definitely the keren is called b'shusa. If that's the case, this is b'meilasi. What do you want? What's the problem? So what's the shvach over here? What's the shvach over here? If we understand the girsa we're working with for Yolda, we really have to understand what's raya ba'afer. Raya ba'afer is simply a nice way of saying it's in your reshus. Now, what exactly? So that's the kasha. It seems to me the chiddush is only in. There's no chiddush in juxtaposition to muchkeres and muskeres. I have to ask. Forget that one. Without that, what's the chiddush? Without that, what's the chiddush? Forget the. Let's understand the chiddush before the kasha of muchkeres and muskeres. Without the kasha of muchkeres and muskeres, how did we understand what was the chiddush? The chiddush was we understood Yolda, and since it's Yolda, therefore this is called shvach, and it wasn't in Yerushus. Why isn't it in Yerushus? Because we thought since it's not popiling Yerushus, it's in a makam hefker. That's called yimatzulei. I don't understand. Why tell me that story? Typically, if it's found in your house and didn't give birth yet, it's going to give birth later. What exactly is the kudus chiddush of prayer roy bafa? What about poor muberis sheyol dacher misa in the barn? I mean, you remember the girl only has the kasha. This is not a chiddush because the raya is muchkeres and muskeres. Without that, it would be a chiddush. Explain what exactly is the chiddush. What exactly is the chiddush by poor roy bafa v'yolda? For goodness sakes, what's the chiddush? Do you understand what I'm asking? And I repeat it again. The Gemara took for granted a kasha. How can you tell me there's a chiddush by Raya Ba'afa if you already know that the keren, which is found even by muchkeres, which l'chayr is meshubah to the other guy, and you can't take it. And afal piken, you're saying that the shvach, which comes from that type of a keren, you're a gaiva. Over here, the shvach made from a chayfetz, which is you can take it whenever you want, is definitely a davar pashut. That's the kasha. Now let's understand. Without that question, without that juxtaposition to muchkeres and muskeres, you wouldn't have had a question. I don't understand. Why not? Please tell me the unique chiddush of Raya Ba'afer by Leda. You want to tell me a din of Leda? Zog Leda gesundheit. How did the Gemara understand the Chatchir? The Gemara understood the Chatchir that Raya Ba'afer is insignificant, and there's a chiddush on Leda. But dafka by Raya Ba'afer, as opposed to what about Leda in the barn? So it's a filu Raya Ba'afer, it means to say. Okay, now let's try to understand. There's a chiddush in Raya in the barn, later in the barn. There's even a chiddush Raya Ba'afer. Explain the difference between Raya in the barn and Raya in Ba'afer by Nafka Mina.
Isn't there only food available?
Once again, it's not totally. There's no halachic thing which stops him from getting it. It's just practically not. There's no limit at the moment. What?
Isn't there only? It's only able to be mamela if it's in the meadow because there's food there. There's food available in the barn.
Get until the next stage, my beloved boy. That's the next part of the. You're jumping stages. For the question of the Gemara now doesn't bring into account the food. The food comes in the last 3 words of the page, right?
Right.
You have to be able to analyze the conversation and it's piece by piecemeal. What happens at this stage? So l'chayra, I'll get to the food in a moment if you really want to know. Okay. Tell me, does anybody think that if there's a tree of hegdish and a hedyot watered it, is it called mum and hedyot and mum and hegdish mubavim zebazeh? The best it is a yored. And you get keshatoli ayir. So who cares who feeds it? Who cares about the mom, about the food? Very nice of you to feed, so I'll pay you for the feeding. I need someone else to explain the Gemara of Mezainis to me. Adar, you brought it up, Chaim. I didn't want to bring it up yet, but that's a bell of the Gemara. But let go. I'm going back to my first stage. I'm asking a simple question. There's a chiddush of Raya Ba'afer as far as the Vlad is concerned, which is really makes no sense once you understand, when you juxtapose it to muchkeres and muskeres. Al koch of the chiddush, one would have thought that if it gives birth not in my barn, but somewhere else, and I have to go get it, that also is a tzad to say that it's not called. It's called a shvach of something which isn't in the keren, isn't my rishus. This is already very weird. What would be the tzad to say that? I need help. Okay, I think it's 7:20. I have to 25. You have to eat lunch. I think you have a muster soon. So okay. I will see you guys later at 10 o'clock. I think it is. Is that it?
Yeah.
Right. Bye. Can we start earlier? Can we start earlier, guys? Hello.
I don't know, Rabbi. We only
Rabbi,
have
as it is, we don't have so much time for Hachana.
Can we start a little earlier? There's no way. Figure out what to do. I don't know, because this is like I don't know. I leave you with the problem. I need more time.
Rabbi, it's the same amount of time that Rabbi has during his Zman.
I thought we all learn Chavrusa together at 5 o'clock. That would be cool. I don't know. I don't know. This is very frustrating. Okay, bye. See you at 10. Kol Tuv.